People have just not made the commitment to realizing brand is actually built in social. Social by nature allows you to create more creative. When you're able to create more creative, you're able to focus on relevance, not just awareness. I believe every Fortune 500 brand does not have an awareness issue. That's why they're a Fortune 500 brand. They have a relevance issue. How do you make Nike matter to every single person? How do you make Apple, BMW, Prada, how do you make it actually matter? The way you make it matter is by...
It's your third trip to Dubai. Why are you here and why do you care about Dubai?
I'm here because I want to build businesses and brand in every part of the world. Obviously, some places are closer to Manhattan than others. So it's harder to get to Asia or the Middle East than, let's say, Europe. Yet, I've been to Dubai more than I've been to my own London office in the last several years because I'm incredibly bullish on the UAE. I'm bullish on the Middle East overall, to be frank. And I anticipate for the next 50 years of my career as I wrap up, that those are all gonna be 50 years of a lot of growth in the region. And I think a lot of that growth, when the history books write it, in Saudi, in Egypt, in other parts of the region, a lot of it will link back to the incredible foresight and aggressive entrepreneurial and cultural energy that Dubai brought to the Middle East. And so this is the epicenter, I think, of what has started this modern Middle East. And it's clearly, in a lot of ways, the most viable place for me to set up our office for the VaynerX, Vayner world. And I just want to network and create opportunity.
So when I met you in 2017, I was like, one of the reasons I wanted to meet you, I'm like, I wanted VaynerMedia to come to the Middle East because I knew what you did back then, no one was doing. And now obviously marketing, social has evolved so much. You talk a lot about brand being built in social. What are some things that brands in the Middle East should learn how to do that you believe that they haven't gotten it yet, or even some in the US?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, to your point about what we've been talking about, what I've been talking about is people have just not made the commitment to realizing brand is actually built in social. Social by nature allows you to create more creative. When you're able to create more creative, you're able to focus on relevance, not just awareness. I believe every Fortune 500 brand does not have an awareness issue. That's why they're a Fortune 500 brand. They have a relevance issue. How do you make Nike matter to every single person? How do you make Apple, BMW, Prada, how do you make it actually matter? The way you make it matter is by storytelling. The way you make it matter is that story has to hit you. Me, you, Dustin, Menno. We have different things that are gonna make us interested.
Yep.
Social is conducive to that kind of output. Plus, we now live in a world where the algorithms are rewarding content that is interesting to people. That by nature creates consumer insights. Consumer insights are the starting point to do great work, right? If you know something about what people are already interested in, you have a better chance of making something that they're interested in, thus rendering them to do the thing you want them to do. And in the context of this, it means to buy something. So, I think the brands in the Middle East and the world need to make a bigger commitment to output, more volume, more platform strategy, more creative strategy, more cultural strategy. We call it PAC, platforms and culture. And I think the faster they do that, the more likely they'll gain market share. And I think every brand has to go through that journey.
If it's that easy to do, insights are available on every single platform that gives them data about what's happening. It's free, doesn't cost anything to be on any of these platforms. Why don't people do it?
They don't know it's true. Their advisors, aka their agencies, are not pushing it on them. Brands don't know how to keep them accountable. The conversation's not being had at scale. And so private equity-backed brands, venture capital-backed brands, and influencers and creators continue to do this kind of work, and they continue to get leverage and market share. And I think at some point it will break. And
okay, do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts in culture.
Do's, talk about things that you care about and you're passionate about and Don'ts, try to jump on trends that you don't care about, but you're doing it because it seemingly is a trend.
Do's and don'ts in the workplace.
Do, deploy kind candor, but also deploy a system that eliminates cancerous individuals. Don't look the other way when somebody's contributing to your bottom line, but they're destroying your culture.
Okay, do's and don'ts when it comes to social media.
Do's, really learn it and do it yourself until you really understand it. Don'ts, don't outsource it to your 17-year-old niece because she's 17.
Do's and don'ts when it comes to AI, metaverse, NFTs, new tech.
Do's, stay curious and answer maybe every time you hear something new and crazy. Don'ts, use fear to say no and put your head in the sand like you're an ostrich.
Gary Vaynerchuk, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Maha.
Appreciate it.